Hey guys, please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. Top 10 bazaars you must visit in Turkey. If you're looking for a true shopping adventure, look no further than Turkey. This vibrant country is home to some of the best markets and bazaars in the world, each one brimming with unique treasures just waiting to be discovered. In Turkey, markets are a place of locals gathering together, purchasing fresh produce, sharing daily news and gossip. There are a lot of historical markets around Turkey that reflect the culture of the country. From bargaining for souvenirs in Istanbul's Grand Bazaar to exploring the colorful stalls of Gaziantep Coppersmith Bazaar, there's something for every shopaholic in Turkey. 1. Alacati Antika Pazari Izmir. Alacati is one of the most vibrant and famous neighborhoods in Izmir's Çeşme district. The first settlement in the region dates back to 3000 BC. Its ancient name was Agrilia, a small village settlement located on the Çeşme Peninsula stretching out to the blue waters of the Aegean. Although the port settlement was seen in 3000 BC, the village center dates back to 1800 AD. Alacati is actually an old Greek village. You can still see this effect in the urban texture and architecture. Alacati village squares are among the most beautiful squares in Turkey. In winter, the southeastern region dominates the region. In the summer, the sun is suffocating. For this reason, the architectural construction and street texture are shaped on the north-south axis. Almost all of the buildings were built with the characteristic Alacati stone from the region. Alacati presents itself however you want, yet there is plenty of entertainment, shopping and delicious food for everyone. Which restaurant should you go to? What should you eat, and most importantly, how much will you pay while visiting Alacati? A touristic favorite, this place is filled with antiques, windmills, street art, colorful restaurants, and bars. There's nothing you can't find within these cobbled streets. The market dates back to the early 2000s, so it's not too old, but there's still history here. 2. Carpa Pazari Eskisehir. Another typical market in Turkey, especially considering that it's in Anatolia. The difference between the usual shops and these markets is that the produce goes straight from farm to table. 3. Kapalicarsi, Grand Bazaar, Istanbul. Grand Bazaar is one of the oldest covered markets, not just in Asia or Europe but the world, and it dates back to the 1450s. This market existed before the Republic of Turkey. It would be strange to visit this country without stopping by, even if it is just for a bite to eat. You will get lost exploring, and there will be a crowd, but it's worth seeing. Shopkeepers are pushy, but just leave the shop if you feel pressured to buy anything. There is an air of the tale of the 1001 Nights in one of the largest and oldest bazaars. Even those with the best sense of direction may get lost when navigating over 60 narrow streets and 3,600 shops. Although part of the fun is to see where you end up, another part of the fun is the sights inside this covered bazaar. Filled with all types of glamorous wares, it would be impossible to leave Grand Bazaar without picking up a gift or 3 million. Turkey's famous exports are all here, like the kilim, a high-quality, hand-woven carpet that'll have you singing a whole new world. Do the local folks shop at Grand Bazaar as well? Yes, they do, especially for gold. This is where gold and silver buying and selling take place in Istanbul. 4. Misir Carsisi, Spice Market, Istanbul. Officially on the European side of Istanbul, this market dates back to the 1600s. If you can navigate the narrow alleyways, you can surely negotiate with the shopkeepers. Prices are higher than what the shopkeeper expects you to pay. The affable bazaar operators will remain in your memory as they offer you a sample of exotic goods such as rose-flavored Turkish delight. It's not just culinary delights, you'll even find cosmetics like pure henna powder. Also known as the Egyptian Bazaar, it was built after the Great Fire in 1660 with spices from Egypt. The intoxicating aroma from each of the 85 stalls may invite you in, but it will be the colors that'll make you lose yourself. Nowadays, when Istanbul locals hear the name Misir Carsisi, they immediately think about the lining streets, back streets and outside of the spice market. The building itself is pretty touristy. Lining its exterior walls are vendors catering more to locals than tourists. On one side, you'll encounter a small fish market, and on the other, some businesses devoted to gardening, hardware, pet food, fish tank supplies, and even pet birds. The streets and shops near this 17th century bazaar are also worthwhile. You may buy many of the same products at a lower touristy price. 5. Tire Sali Pazari Izmir. Suppose you're afraid of altered olive oil. In that case, you can buy unprocessed olives from here to do as you wish. This is one of many street markets in Turkey, and it has close to 7,500 merchants. You can trust the products as they were all produced by the seller or the merchant's friend. This is an example of the types of typical markets that the citizens of Turkey gather to share the daily news or gossip and buy everything they need. These exist more in a rural town than the big cities. You can find everything from fresh vegetables, honey, jam, and molasses to wooden spoons. 6. Kemeralti Carsisi, Izmir. A fire in 1922 destroyed many of the historical buildings, but the Kemeralti market remains. You'll find a variety of goods, including produce, to purchase at reasonable prices. The market bustles to life with 2,000 tradesmen, including working-class women selling lace needlework. 7. Bakircilar Carsisi, Gaziantep. Copper is a favorite amongst cooks for its even distribution of heat. It is corrosion-resistant and hygienic compared to other pots and pans. If that sounds like something you want to invest in, there are handmade pots, pans, egg poachers, and even Turkish coffee pots, says V, here. You'll also find rows of colorful, dried vegetables to take home from the 19th century market. 8. Kapalicarsi, Ulu Carsi and Koza Bursa. Bursa used to be the capital of silk production and, even today, its textiles are beloved in Turkey. This is 3 markets rolled into one where you can find jewelry, silk, and those traditional Bursa towels. You'll also find cafes, tea gardens, and restaurants to fully unwind. 9. Uzun Carsi, Hatay. There is so much variety of goods that the side streets are reserved for different occupation groups. The market is so far in Asia that it's not even in Anatolia anymore. Yet, there are brilliant monasteries, mosques, and museums nearby. This spot is a little reminiscent of the more significant markets in Istanbul like the Spice Bazaar and the Grand Bazaar. 10. Safranbolu Carsisi, Safranbolu. It's now known for the wooden Ottoman houses. Follow down the cobbled streets to find a variety of souvenirs from Turkish delights and Aladdin lamps. Moreover, there is a 225-year-old blacksmith market that must be seen to be believed. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.